All right, hi everyone. Welcome to my new video on this channel. Right. Okay, it's been some time since I posted. All right. Okay, so in today's video, we'll be going through a bit of the continuation of the previous video. So if you haven't watched the previous video, I'll recommend that you watched it. All right, you watch it. All right. So in today's video, we'll be going through this one. This is part 2 of secret entries, right? So the previous one we looked at inducement mainly, right? So in today's we'll be adding flip entries, inducement also, and liquidity, right? So this is a secret to entries. So if you're new into this channel, please just subscribe into this channel, leave your comment below so that this video can get into a lot of people, right? Let's just get straight into it. So we'll just start with this here, just theory. Then, okay, this is not really theory, right? So this is more like using a line chart, right? Because a line chart is a bit not simpler than a candlestick, but it does the same thing all over again, right? So we'll just be looking at this here, flip entries, inducement, liquidity. Then we'll go straight into the chart, right? Okay, so let's get straight into it, right? Okay, so what the price does, it does the normal, right? We're going up, break structure after break of structure, we expect a pullback, right? Now we're here on the high time frame POI, right? So POI is point of interest, right? So this is our supply area. So the price came there and it directed. Okay, so now we're just watching the price, right? We're not looking at anything. Then now flip entries, because I think most of the time I share the normal entries, right? Where we've change of character, then pull back, then that would be our entry, right? So this is a normal one, but here flip entries, now it's flip entries and inducement, right? So what happens is the price comes downside, right? So we have this push here, right? Now if you look at this push, it didn't come below this low, so the price just came to, you'll find that probably there is a bit of an area here, so the price is going to bounce here. Then sometimes the price can even stay longer, right? The price can even stay longer before it breaks, before it changes character, right? Finally, the price changes character. Now this is where the trick is, all right? Even though, of course, this is the game of high probabilities, it's not, there is no to say this is what the price does always, but the game of probabilities. So that means we go for what the price does most of the time. Doesn't mean it should always do the same thing all over again. Right now, the price, now what most people do is they enter here, right? So they want to get an entry here, the price to drop. And the price just going to come and tap above this here. This is what inducement, we covered it on the previous video, right? And I think we looked at a few examples on this, right? So that's what the price does, change character, come mitigate this POI high time frame, right? This is high time frame. So we're not going to be entering here, but this one is what is low time frame, right? So this is a lower time frame POI. So this one we can enter just the moment the price taps it, right? So you can decide to enter here at the middle or anywhere, but make sure that your stop loss is just above it, right? So we have two things, right? We have a flip, finally we have a change of character, then the price came in, touched the zone just above this here inducement, right? Now this is what the price does sometimes also. Sometimes you have something of this kind, right? Then this is what the price will do, almost the same, right? but the price is going to drop a bit, probably somewhere here, right? Pull back a bit, maybe until here, drop again. The moment the price pulls back, the price will pull back probably until here, this area, then drop. Now let me just delete this here. Okay, let me just put this aside. I'll not delete it. Let me just put it aside. Don't mind it for now. Just focus on this one. Now, question is where is the adjustment? Adjustment is this one here. It's no longer this one, this pullback. So it's the last pullback before, should I say, the major pullback. Right, so your entry is going to be now that your entry can be here now. You see, so that's where your entry can be now. Right, so that's where you can have your entry now. It's not the same thing, right? It's not the same thing because that one, this one, it pulled back. This pullback went all the way, right? So this was the inducement. So the price went above inducement. So it went above this area and came downside. This one, the inducement, is here. So the price, it doesn't need to go above this area. Personally, I prefer this one. Right. Yeah, this one, because firstly, it kinda tells me that the price, it has really changed direction. It has really changed character. Right. Then we have this. This is what internal structure. Internal structure, external structure, I think I've been mentioning for quite some time. So this is just internal structure. Right. So the price, just because it went above this area, doesn't mean that the price is going up. No, this is just adjustment. Right. So that's where the price, that's where the entry will be. But on this one, kind of the same thing. Right. So the adjustment, this one was this pullback. So let's delete this now. Okay, I hope I will not keep this video way too long. All right, so let's delete this here. Right, so this was the inducement here in this case, right? Then the entry is going to be on the POI just above the inducement, right? You see, so it's not yeah, probably you can watch this all over again. Let me not stay much on it. Okay, so the second one is just the opposite of it, right? Just the opposite of it. I won't spend much time on it. Again, we're going downside, right? Block of structure, we come mitigate here, right? Then the next thing is we don't go above this point. So we came downside. Finally, we've changed character. Then we're coming back. So the price just came below this point, right? That was the entry. Now let's do the second one, where the price is now going to do the same thing again, right? Then the price is going to do this pullback, right? Then the next thing we'll have this big pullback. Then we go, let's just delete this. Okay, let's move it. Right, if you look at it like the same thing now, the adjustment is not this one, is this, but here it's this one here. So we're going to look for a pull out just above the adjustment. Right, now that I've said that this is a game of probabilities, doesn't mean the price will always do this. So now the price can actually just come to the adjustment just here and reverse. Right, but as I've said on the previous video, what you do is you react. You don't guess. You look at the price. What is the price offering me now? But just make sure that you have many options, so that you don't, especially when it comes to entries, but not as many options, right? So that your trading becomes mechanical. You are fixed in your trading. You know that this is what I follow, right? But you just keep your eye open when it comes to entries, because you don't want to miss a whole setup because of an entry. That's why I always say that there's a very big difference between being an analyst and being a trader. right? Being an analyst and being a trader is a very, very, very big difference. Okay, let's bring this. Should I? No, I'm not. Let's go to the next one. Right, because analyst, you just point the directions. This one, you have to get an entry and you have to make sure that your stop is very tight, right? Because as I've said in the previous video, you are first a risk manager before you anything else. I can say the same thing here. Change character, pull back, then we come just above this point here. That is our POI, right? Now this one is continuation. Price just came below above here. Spoke about that on the previous video. Then the price just came to react on this POI here, right? So the price is the same thing here. Okay, but this one is not the flip. This one is the normal choke, right? So it's the normal change of character. This one is not a flip. Remember that the flip you said the price will, you see, it didn't come below this point, then it will pull back, then finally break, then pull back just above this point, then come downside. That's a flip. You have this here that didn't break, then you have this pullback, then use this as an adjustment. We don't have that here. So here in this case, I've said that you can watch this video as many times so that I don't keep on explaining the same thing. Here we just have a normal choke, right? Normal choke again. But the most important, pay attention into these. Right, that's why I always say that sometimes the price will take people out and go to that direction is because of inducement and flip. Right, the same thing again here. Okay, so this is flip here. Now if you look at this one, right? The price didn't go above this point to create inducement. It does happen, right? Preferable is to take an entry above inducement here, take an entry there, but this one I kept it on purpose to be this way. Sometimes the price is going to do this exactly, right? And then the price, mostly it will just be a bit up there, right? So almost it's going to be just above there. It won't come now, the price won't go above this point. Preferable, I prefer that one. Like I prefer, remember that as I've said that this is a game of probabilities, right? So what there's this what I call a playbook, right? So what you have in a playbook is you have your types of entries, you have your types of setup. You can make a PDF, can just throw them and make a PDF, or can just cut them on the chart, right? So you have your A setup, then you have your B setup. You can decide to just stick to A setups, right? So this one, I'll say probably this might be setup. Okay, the setup is solid, but the entry probably B1 because personally I would have preferred something just above this point, right? But this one I can take it, but of course this risk there will be not as much, right? Still the same thing here. Let's look at the last one. Are we looking at the last one? Do you have the last one? I think I'm going to share something else. But anyway, let's go straight into the chart. Again, see the same thing all over again here. Same thing all over again. That's why most people they got caught because what they want to sell here. They want to sell here. Still an uptrend until the price gets into a POI. That's why some people they can, even to me, it used to happen a lot. I'll have arrows pointing downside. The price will end here exactly where I was pointing, but the price will first take me out probably. Sometimes, yeah, like do something on my account before it comes my direction, right? But of course, you can take these, yes, say probably we're selling coming downside, as long as your risks are very small. So if you took a sell here, maybe you were taken out on break even. You took another sell here, you made a small loss. Take another sell here, you make a big win. Right, you see, so now that's the importance of being a risk manager first. Right, okay, so now let's just head straight into the chart and look a bit of these here, right? Right. Okay. So, okay. Just before we go into the chart, okay. So this is, so if you're interested in a detailed course, right, step-by-step process. Okay. So this is the course that I offer, right? So you can, I'll just leave the link below. So these are all the topics that we cover. Everything psychology, right? And there is a mentorship group where we share our day-to-day like everything that mentorship group do, right? So this is it. So first is market structure. So these are all videos, right? Right. So these are all classes, right? Even though I think I've added some a bit. Yeah, there's some few that I think I'll just need to edit this, but this is more like it, right? So we cover all of these. Then where is this one here? Yeah, like this is just a combination of everything, right? I think I've added some videos here, where I just look at step-by-step process of everything until your entry, how to spot setups, how to take entries and all that. And I think some that I've added is things like playbook, right? So but this is just it, supply and demand and all that. So if you're interested, you can just check the link below. I'll just leave everything just below, right? Let's go straight into the chat. Right. Okay, so I'll just be looking at mostly entries. I'll not be looking at starting afresh, analyzing and all that. Just be looking at this, right? Okay, so this one, you can tell the way the price is coming downside, right? Then from there, the price is stuck here. Block of structure, change of character, right? Okay, probably, yeah, this one, yes, but I think mostly this was going to be an entry, right? So this one here, right, was a good one, but this one here, because we now had a inducement here, right? Now that we had inducement there, right, then you should have your point of interest here. Then the price just came to tap you in and went into your direction. Like when it comes to entries, you don't need to do much work. All you need to do is to be paying much on where exactly with the price give me an entry. All right. So the first thing is just your thorough analysis for our depending on whatever time frame that you're using. Now you're waiting for entries. Right, you're waiting for entries. That's what probably I would say it really requires some waiting, right? Because you have to wait until the price gives you exact. That's what most people also, they don't probably don't have such what self-control, right? Because you have to wait for until the price gives you exactly what you want. If it didn't give you, it's fine, you leave it. It's like, for example, this one, if the price came here, I think to me it was going to be a solid entry, right? So if this here, right? So you should have written down your types of entries. You don't guess market, and it's very easy to guess when the price is running in front of you, right? So if this was the case here, this one, then the price came to drop all the way. This was going to be my entry here, right? At the extreme here, and this thing so long. So risk something. Let me just say, yeah, 10 pips is fine. Then we go all the way to almost 200 pips, 199 pips. right? So this was definitely going to be my entry, but the price unfortunately didn't do that. Remember what I said, that sometimes the price is going to give you such, right? But if someone, this is their type of entries, why not take it? Right, those are very solid entry. All right, now if this is what is the ratio of what 1:18. Now say you get 3 of these in a week, or let's say you get 4, you win 2, lose 2. You're way ahead, way ahead. Right, so that's what I'm saying, that Forex is just a game of probability. Right, just a game of probability. Let's see also at one nice inducement here. This continuation. I'll not go through this one. Let's check here. Okay, no, right, so with a very nice one here. Let's continue. Right, let's have a look here. I wonder how long will this video be. Let's have a look at it here. Okay, so this one finally came to rest on this high time frame point of interest with this. Ooh, yeah, this one is going to be very interesting. Right, change of character here. That's going to be very interesting. Okay, so I was not going to take the first one. Let's see here. Block of structure. Right, inducement. Let's see. Now the price didn't drop, probably that's going to be it, but the price didn't drop all the way. Yeah, so this one, you see now, what I'm saying, that sometimes, yeah, it can be very tricky, like super tricky, because this one, I'm not convinced to get an entry here. Definitely, I was not going to be convinced, right? I was not, because yeah, I think it's this change of character. It's not really convincing. You see, so that's why also, like in backtesting, you need to be talking to yourself these things, because sometimes it's very easy to just be backtesting it because something is already there. You're just doing it, just doing it. But when you're trading, it's totally different thing, right? Personally, I was not going to take this because of this. The change of character is not convincing at all. Right, then I was going to wait for this. The price didn't tap that. This fine. Right, this one here, I know some people probably going to get an entry here, but not me. Right, not me. Yeah, some people are probably going to get an entry here. Taking it all the way up. As long as like you make sure that your risk they're managed, right? That's what you need. That's what is not managed cannot be measured, right? Or rather, what can what can be measured can be managed, right? So if you can't measure your like your trading, that means definitely you can manage it, right? So that one, yeah, it's okay, right? It's okay. Just that personally, it has to be above. It has to be above. If it was above this, then came back. Yeah, then just like this one went broke structure, then came back, didn't touch this one. I leave it. Right. Do you have anything here? Okay, I think I will probably talk about a bit of supply and demand. Right. There's some time. We have also this one here. I like these entries, like I super like them. Personally, I really like them. Yeah, like if you have been in Forex for quite some time, you'll find that you spend most of the time looking for entries. Your analysis you can, it's quick done. Now entries, the what differentiate traders. Okay, of course, you have things like psychology, you have things like managing a trade and all that, but entries, start with entries. Start with entries. All right, let's see how far was this going to go. Measuring 275 pips. The rest something like 10 pips. Okay, just say what, 11 pips. Right, and you go for, oof, nice. Right, okay, this video I think is way too long now, so I think I'll just look at the last one. Okay, but this one there's really nothing to look at here. No, skipping it. This is more like inducement. Right, so this is another one, a flip. So what happens if you look at it, the price bounce here, then went back. So this is happening all before change of character. All right, before change of character, then finally the price spoke, even though I think this was definitely news. So news, they're just a catalyst to your technicals. So if the price did this, came back just above this point, right, this was going to be a normal one. So you enter just above this here. This is a flip and adjustment, right? But the price went all the way. It did come back, the same thing, right? But this one, if the price did this, right, and did this, I'll probably enter at the peak here. But this one, since it went all the way downside, so I'm going to look for the reaction this side. Yes, the price, I'm still using all this analysis this side as confluences, but I'll look for reaction this side, right? I'm looking at this adjustment here, entry here, right? It's very much important to look at the direction of the price. Of course, you can't be looking at the direction of the price in every time frame. Some time frames they're way too small. Like for example, you can't be looking at the direction of the price on what 5 minutes time frame, like 5 minutes POI, supply and demand, right? So, but this one definitely was going to look at the direction of the price reacted here, then the price came downside. But you find that if the price did this, person going to react. Probably said came here, you're just going to come and tap and go. Right. So you should know what you are looking for. That's what I like about this, right? Like this way of trading. You are able to define every aspect of the market. You see that one, that was a game changer for me. Right. You are able to define every aspect of the market. So you know, okay, fine, this was news. You know that the price, why is it coming back, going about this point, reacting here? You can explain this is what flip, it didn't come below this point. You see, every aspect of the market, you can define it, then you can put together, assembly the whole thing, then take a trade. Right. You don't just, some, yeah. Let me not even go through mention that. Right. So that's what I like. Every aspect of the market it is explained. There is no, I don't know what happened here and all that. No, there's nothing of that kind. You are able to explain every aspect of the price, right? And it's very, I would say it's very challenging for the price to have what you call fake out and all that. The price cheating, it's very rare, like super rare, like super rare. But the most part that I like is you're able to explain every aspect of the price. The price came into the high time frame, poor eye. You have change of character. This is a flip. This is what inducement. All that before you take a trade. All right. So as I've stated, oh, actually yes, we just hit 2,000 subscribers into the channel. So thank you so much for everyone who's subscribed into this channel. If you are new into the channel, just kindly subscribe, leave a comment below. Just tell me what you'd like me to share on the next video. right? Let's just engage. And also I'll leave the free Telegram channel, my Instagram, all the communications. So free Telegram channel, that's why I share some of these also, right? So let's meet on the next one. I'm not sure when. I promise to release this on Thursday, every Thursday, but sometimes I get a bit busy. But I'll try by all means to do them every Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's meet again when we meet.